So this week we talked about Thomas Nagel's The Absurd. And the first question is, why are our lives absurd? Thomas Nagel argues that our lives are absurd because we are born, we live, and we die. There's no getting around it. The second question of part one is, why is it unavoidable? Why is there no way to get around it? And Nagel argues that it's unavoidable because dying is obviously going to happen, and the absurdity is unavoidable because as people, we are constantly worrying ourselves with what is going on, what's going to happen next, and we consume our lives with that. People attempt to avoid the absurdity, and the first type is by influencing other people and impacting other people. In that mindset, we think that people attempt to focus their passions rather on materials, but on volunteering, helping other people, giving to the homeless, stuff like that. And then the second way is by denying your own desires, which is the Buddhist mindset, which is to deny yourself of any form of pleasure or your desires in an attempt to find happiness or balance. Basically, people just want to live a simplistic life and worry themselves not on what I desire, but on, having balance and being the best version of myself that I possibly can be. But Nagel disagrees with those attempts to avoid absurdity. If we try to impact other people that have unimportant lives, and we have unimportant lives, then it's just going in this endless circle, and it's not benefiting anybody. And then the Buddhist mindset he disagrees with because we take our desires so seriously, so to try to deny your desires takes more time, effort, and energy than is reasonable. I like the quote where he said on page 718, Nagel says, "The condition is supplied, I shall agree, by the collision between seriousness, which we take our lives, and the perpetual possibility of regarding everything about which we are serious as arbitrary or open to doubt." What that means is that we are so serious in our lives and we take everything so seriously, but everything that we're taking seriously could also be seriously doubted and seen as arbitrary. Personally, I disagree with Thomas Nagel's arguments because I think that anyone can be influential in the future. Personally, I want to be a special education teacher, and for me, yes, that's like the whole impacting and influencing lives, but for me, I get to, the astronaut, actually, let me look this up for you. Let's see, the astronaut, Krista McAuliffe, said, the quote, "I touch the future, I teach." And I think that is the best quote, and that's what I personally want to make my teaching style about, is that I'm touching people that are going to touch the future. So I touch the future, I teach. And I think that in itself, I'm not just teaching myself, and I'm not just living life. I'm touching the future. I'm influencing these kids, and it could be the next Elon Musk, Barack Obama. Like, that's the kids that I could be teaching. Yes, special ed, but still, I'm still teaching these kids, and I'm still influencing them, which Nagel probably would disagree with. Oh well. And I do agree with what Professor Matt said about not focusing on what it doesn't matter, and I think that goes with the quote. Because if you're so focused on being serious about everything, then you're not going to be able to live life, and you're not going to be able to, just enjoy the life that you're living. Like, we're put here for a purpose. I believe that we're put here for a purpose. And even if, I die within the next few years, I still want to have an impact on the future. And I think that's where just focusing on living life and enjoying it is super, super important.